I knew something was up when my hematologist called me into the office as the last patient of the day. It was just a feeling that I got. So when he actually uttered the words multiple myeloma, my first reaction was, well, what is it? I'd never heard of it before in my life. I'd never come across it. And secondly, he advised me not to Google it. So, of course, I went home and Googled it. Now, the reason he said that is because it's a complex disease and because the prognosis for the disease has changed so dramatically within the last 5 to 10 years that if I had been diagnosed a decade before, it would have been a very different prognosis. I may have been given 1 to 2 to 3 years to live. And that's really disturbing to read that. There were certain things I resisted. I resisted getting something called a port, which it's a catheter which has been it's here in my chest in order to access my blood more easily, because getting poked all the time was getting unpleasant. But I resisted that. I resisted that for a month and a half. I thought, I don't want anything foreign in my body. It was an entirely new concept to me. Whereas a month down the line, I was begging them to put it in because it was so painful, and my veins. I mean, chemo is, really compromises the accessibility to your veins. So there's an adjustment. It's like entering a new world. Well, we all die. That's the thing, sooner or later, of some circumstances or the other. So it's simply something that I don't emphasize in my life. We have a choice every moment on what you want to highlight. It's the whole glass empty, glass half empty, glass half full phenomenon. So I just choose, not that I'm in denial at all, but my own coping mechanism is to choose to highlight all the positive aspects and the hope and the optimism, while at the same time acknowledging the fact that, that's why I'm sitting here today, because the work isn't yet done. Even though I'm in remission, my condition is incurable. There's a combination of yoga, meditation, but you know what, if I feel like going out and cutting loose and hanging out with friends and having a drink, that's what I'll do. I really believe that the purpose of life is to be happy. And it's a legitimate pursuit of happiness. And I'm grateful to be here, to be given this second chance at life. And so I'm going to make the most of it in any way that makes sense to me. So I think you have to find your own coping mechanisms, your own benchmarks.